All right, good morning, class. Welcome to your 9410 class, which is your cultural heritage class, and this is week number 7. That is right, week number 7 of that cultural heritage class. As always, I am your professor, Dr. Jace K. Austin, and this week we are looking into what's probably one of the most important, actually, if you ask me. All of the modules are important, but definitely one of the things that is most important in contemporary times when we're talking about ownership of heritage materials and we're talking about cultural heritage and what rights indigenous peoples of any area. So, of course, when I talk about indigenous people, I am talking about here in America the Native American or American Indian or indigenous, whatever term you think is most appropriate. We are talking about artifacts and tradition and all the other cultural heritage things that are associated with the people who inhabited the Americas prior to European colonization. It's very important to talk about ownership issues and preservation and all these various things with that population. But I would also say that in a certain context, you can also talk about the indigenous people being those that were just indigenous to anywhere on Earth prior to colonization of outside forces. So I may say that sub-Saharan Africans are the indigenous people of sub-Saharan Africa, or I might say that Australian Aboriginals are the indigenous people of Australia prior to people from England settling Australia and those sorts of things. So this is very important. It is thankfully a topic that has gained a lot more traction and attention in recent years, and a lot of people, unfortunately not enough, but a lot of people are reconsidering who owns these artifacts, who gets to display them, who gets to decide what is done with them, if there is profit to be made, where those profits go, and that sort of thing. So this is a very interesting article module. It's a very important module, and I hope you all will have a lot of takeaways from this module, and I look forward to your discussions in this module as always. What I'm going to talk about, and I know I say this all the time, but I really mean it this time. I am going to keep this video under 10 minutes. And by the way, you can speed the video up if you have not sped the video up already. But I am actually going to just very quickly bring your attention to something that we really talk about in week 10. But I figured given the current state of world events, it was time to bring it up now and not wait until week 10 to bring it up. So what I did, and I will link to this article, by the way, in the announcement that this video appears in. But yeah, cultural heritage gets attacked in war, folks. It does, and what's bad about that is that it's. I mean, obviously, you never want loss of human life, either through war or whatever else. And so, yes, it's a shame that human life is being lost very senselessly, I might add, over in the Ukraine as Russia invades. But I will also say that, there are going to be threats to Ukrainian heritage as well. And in fact, that has already started to happen, that destruction and that erasure of identity. So I am going to link this. This is Ukrainian culture and art comes under attack in the wake of Russia's invasion. Approximately 25 paintings by Ukrainian artist Maria, and I don't know, I guess it's Primachenko, were destroyed Monday night following Russia's evolving invasion of Ukraine. And this is something that, given what I do and given the interest that I take in cultural heritage and in preservation and these sorts of things, as most librarians do, this is something that really, it really just strikes me to the core. It's not always just about books, or it's not even for me most of the time about just books when it comes to librarianship and working in GLAM, which is galleries, libraries, archives, and museums. GLAM. This is sad, and this is stuff that is likely going to continue as this invasion continues as a war starts or whatever the case may be. And so, if you do have the free time, uh, I will encourage you to look at this article again. I'm going to link it up in the announcement that this video is contained in. But yeah, this is erasure. I mean, that is what it is. If these paintings are lost to history, uh, it's gone, and this is something that the Ukrainian people had for their culture, for themselves, and if they wish to share it with the world, then for the world, and now it's all gone, and that's just not a happy thought for somebody with a preservationist mindset. And if you're going to be working in libraries, I guarantee you will end up in some shape, form, or fashion as having a preservationist mindset. And so, yeah, this is something that's very sad to read about and talk about, but it's also probably just the beginning. And so there are a lot of scary things happening right now, and if you want to talk about that with your fellow students in the Free for All section, you are welcome to do so. Because I think that in times like this, we really do need to sometimes just be able to talk to each other when we are unsure of what is going to happen. We do need to be able to talk to each other, and we only get out of this, with I would say empathy and sympathy and compassion and love and all that. Um, but yeah, we're going to lose life. We're going to lose heritage, which is human accomplishment and something that brings meaning to life, and that is the shame of war. And so, with that said, there's really not much else to say. Again, we're going to talk about this more in week 10, but yeah, I would just encourage you all to keep your heads up. I know some of you probably have family in the military. I do as well. My brother is in the Air Force. We don't know what's going to become of Ukraine. We don't know what's going to become of anywhere that could be affected by a potential nuclear thing. And we don't know what's going to happen to our troops and to the troops that are going to be intervening, regardless of what country those troops come from. And we don't know what's going to happen to our economy. We know that gas prices are going to continue to skyrocket because we buy petroleum from Russia. And, so while we are actually still in a pandemic, we're looking at more issues that are probably going to disrupt the economy, and it's just been a rough go. Okay, so with that said, you do have papers that are due on March the 13th. Your 4 Heritage is papers, and that's an assignment that I hope you all have some fun with. And it's not going to be a very taxing assignment, I don't think, for you all. And certainly now for an elective, at least, taxing is not what you all need. But, especially for those of you who don't have access to people that you can just talk to right now, then, start maybe a discussion in the Free for All section where you can talk to your classmates. If I get the request for it, I'll try to open a Zoom room where you all can just come together and maybe have a happy hour or something and just take your minds off of this for a little while. I'm Dr. Jace. Peace and grace. I love y'all.